If you've been thinking about buying a home in Northeast San Antonio, well, I'd like to invite you to move out your search just a little bit further into Schertz, Texas. I'm standing in front of 3917 Oglethorpe, and this, I believe, is a unique buying opportunity. That's why I wanted to share it with you. This home is a HUD foreclosure. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 2 stories with the master downstairs. So I'm going to take you through this home really quickly, point out some of the features, point out some of the updates I would recommend having, and then I'm going to take you at the end on a tour of the neighborhood so you can see what the homes in this area look like, as well as break down some strategic points about pricing, rents, things that might encourage you on whether to actually buy a home like this or pass on it. So it doesn't have to be this home, but any home that you have in mind. These questions that I'm going to answer at the end are going to help you make a smart buying decision. But first, let's check out a quick map overview of where this home is and what's nearby.
Okay, we are in Google Maps hovering over 3917 Oglethorpe. And as you can see, we are in just a well-treed area. This is why a lot of people like Schertz, because it's established. So real quick here, you can see that we are just a 3-minute drive from Ashley Park. That's a city park there in Schertz. And just a quick 3-minute drive there. HEB Plus is right up the way, 4 minutes. This is I-35 right there. Lowe's Home Improvement, 6-minute drive from the property. And then down here we have Samuel Clemens High School. That's a 6-minute drive away. The Civic Center there in Schertz is a 7-minute drive. And we have Picklery Park, which is another 10 minutes down the road from 3917 Oglethorpe. Zooming out real quick here, we'll see a few other options for shopping. We have our favorite, the Forum at Olympia Parkway in Selma, Texas. And let's see, we'll just pick Hobby Lobby here. So it's 10 minutes to the Forum Shopping Center from 3917 Oglethorpe. Not too bad if you ask me. You have several different locations you can go shopping. You can either come down here to Live Oak, Selma, and go shopping, or you can take the opposite route and go up to New Braunfels. A lot of attractions up here in New Braunfels. Landa Park, 19 minutes away from 3917 Oglethorpe. So back to the home tour. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, as we make our way around the home, you'll notice that is almost all brick. It's 3 sides brick. Here's the left side of the home. And again, this is a HUD foreclosure. And what that means is the previous owner had an FHA loan on this property, and unfortunately, they were not able to continue making payments. Now, in that situation, HUD has guaranteed the loan, and now they have taken over the property and are having to sell it to recoup the loss on the loan. You notice there's really nice elevation to this home. So it is very, in my opinion, pleasing on the eyes to look at the house. It's not just a box. It does have some architectural features that make it look really nice. There's a fireplace there. Move on inside. Now, keep in mind on these HUD homes, there are no utilities on, no electricity, no water. So you as the buyer are responsible for having those utilities turned on. Now you'll get, with every home purchase on a HUD home, a 15-day inspection period, okay? That comes standard with the contract. You don't have to buy it. You automatically get 15 days to inspect the home. If you are an investor, okay, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer on this particular home because right now, this is exclusively to owner occupants, okay? So you cannot buy this home as an investor during the initial period, okay? Only government agencies, owner occupants can actually purchase this home. This takes you straight to the master. We're going to check out the kitchen first. Now, one of the things I think this home needs, and number one, is these cabinets, they're a little worn, okay? These are very worn, but they're still solid. So considering that the countertops are granite and they still looks like they're in really good condition still, you have the backsplash there. If that color pattern works for you, these cabinets, I think you can get away with just repainting them or refinishing them. Okay, they're not rotten. They just the face of the cabinets need to be refaced, and that would significantly reduce the cost of getting into this property. The floors, the tiles look fine. I don't see any cracked tiles. The wood floors also look like they're in good condition. Okay, you might end up with a few scratches here and there that aren't going to come out, but maybe need to be restained. But overall, really good. I particularly enjoy the vaulted ceiling here. This is really nice. Soars, gives it a lot of headspace and feels very spacious. This is the way to your master. And here we have dual vanities, garden tub, shower combo, his and her closet. And I think the only gripe I have about this house, other than some of the cosmetic things like that hole that needs to be repaired, is that there's not a half bath here. So that's why you have two doors here. You have a door to the master bath here in the master, and then you have another door there. So your guests are going to have to be using your master bath, right? So to come in there, use the restroom, all that stuff. So that is kind of a downer on this this home. I want to point out. So if you're thinking about it, just keep that in mind. You'll have to keep your master bathroom impeccable, right? All right, and in the garage here, there's no garage door opener, although I think it is wired for one, so there should be power for one there. I think they took it, is what happened, because there's a button right there for a garage door opener, and it was taken out. Somebody stepped through the sheetrock here, it looks like. And then hot water heater looks like it's correct, doesn't have a pan there. And this is where your washer and dryer connections are. And then making our way upstairs. So getting back to the process, also, if you're an investor and you decide you want to buy a HUD home, you need to keep in mind that you cannot get your earnest money back on a bad inspection. If you are an owner occupant and you have an inspection, you can get your earnest money back. But the key is you have to have an inspection with these homes, okay? You cannot just decide you don't want to buy it anymore and get your earnest money back. You have to show the inspection report if that's the way you're going to cancel the deal. This is our second bathroom. And loft area there that we came through earlier. Now you could send your guest upstairs to use the bathroom as well. Going back to our other point that we were talking about in the master, but I don't know. It looks like it was designed for your guests to use your master bathroom. Roof looks like it's in pretty good shape. I didn't see any blown shingles, any evidence of leaks when I popped my head up into the attic. So very good shape there. I think this is a very doable house for anybody, whether it's an investor or a owner occupant. It's a matter of perspective. Now, a brand new house like this, I'll let you in. This size here in Schertz, Texas, is going to go right now for about $299 to $340. Okay, that is the going price for a brand new home about this size. Now, we'll talk the rest of the numbers on our car ride around the neighborhood when I show you that. Patio, really nice here. It's not covered. I'd prefer this to be a covered patio, no doubt, because it is sunny and it gets hot in July, August. But you have two really big bonus things here, and that's those oak trees, all right? And they took full advantage of that. They've got a picnic table right there. So you've got shade in the backyard. So it's not the end of the world because there's not a covered patio here, just because of these oak trees. They do need a little trimming, here and there, but other than that, they look like they're in really good condition. I'll show you right here. This is the wasp that stung me earlier, just randomly. I did not enjoy that. But this is certainly a nice spot right here with the covered patio, or excuse me, the canopy of the tree. Got a John Wayne comfort system. Looks like it's pretty good shape. There are no gutters on this house, okay? Yeah, rain is kind of scarce right now, but gutters are always recommended in homes. You can see how the water is building a trench right here around this house. And if you can put gutters, it's highly recommended to keep that water from pooling around your house. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a car ride right around the neighborhood. This is Savannah Square neighborhood, and we're going to see what the rest of the houses look like here. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we are actually about to pass the property here. I made a couple passes, and this is the street here. The house is right there on the left. And so as I mentioned before, the brand new homes in Schertz, Texas, that size, are going from anywhere $299 to $340 brand new. Okay, so that is the ceiling for brand new pricing that you would find on a house that size. Now, if you fix that house up, okay, the price is going to be anywhere from $275 to $285 comfortably. Okay, that's what I found for a resale house about that same age, fixed up. So you're going to at least have to redo the carpeting, repaint, maybe the texture, and deal with those cabinets that are worn, either replace or resurface those cabinets to get some more life out of them. But $275 to $285, if you're an investor, that's about what you're looking for as far as what you get back out of it. Now, the most important question that a lot of home buyers don't ask, or they should be asking on a regular basis when they purchase a home, is what the rents look like on a property like that, especially you folks that are afraid of entering the market right now. Okay, you want to enter the market, but you're not exactly sure how. You'll do yourself a lot of favors right now, especially is asking what the rents are on a property. That's going to give you a big clue on whether it's a good deal or not, whether it's a bad deal, okay, whether you should keep going or find another deal. And I found the rents on that property for a house that size is going to be anywhere from $1,550 to $1,650 on an average looking house. Okay, not much better than what we just looked at, just average. And if you had high-end finishes, okay, if you came in there and you really did some high-end work, $1,650 to $1,800. Okay, if you're really pushing it, trying to get the rents up there, okay, or if you're going to plan on living there and you made a lot of updates, about $1,800 is about the best you could hope for on a rent for a property that size and that age of property. Okay, so keep that in mind, and make sure you're asking those questions along the way if you're in the process of buying. Now, payment wise, okay, payments, this is where it gets interesting and where those rents are going to help you out a whole lot. If you use the HUD $100 down program, if you're using FHA loan, you want to do that $100 down program, you have to be an owner occupant to do that, right? But on a $100 down, you're looking at about $2,350 for your payment. That's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on that property. If you do a regular FHA loan, 3.5% down, okay? It's about $8,000 down that you could put down. You're looking at $2,285 in your estimated total payment, okay? That could change a little bit if you get a better deal on insurance. I'm not an insurance broker. I'm just using, typical numbers that we can find. on a conventional loan, okay, if you bring down 10% down, right, that's $25,000 on that property, 10% down, you're looking at $2,145 for your estimated payment total, okay, property taxes, insurance, principal, you name it, interest. Now, what stands out about that? You're only saving $200 over the $100 down FHA program. So if you're thinking, I'm going to save 10% down so I can save some money, is that worth it to you to wait? How long is it going to take you to save that 25,000? That's up to you, okay? Answer that question for yourself. Is it worth waiting until you have that 10% down? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. You got to make that decision yourself. But I thought that was a very interesting number to look at in considering whether, as a buyer, I would wait or not, or if I would just use a program like the $100 down to get into a house right now. So let me know in the comments what you would do if that's as shocking to you as it is to me. And if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a no-hassle consultation, you can always text me, 210-260-6617. We can also set up a Zoom meeting. We can crunch numbers and figure out what makes the most sense for you and your family in 2026 purchasing a home. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.